Well, it's my great privilege to be able to welcome Vladimir Bukovsky, one of the towering figures of Russia and of this century. Some of us may remember writing letters on behalf of Vladimir when he was in the Soviet penal system and in the Soviet psychiatric hospitals. He came out of the Soviet Union in '76 and he's been living in my country, in England, ever since, keeping up a phenomenal output of books and journalism and speeches, criticizing both the totalitarian regime in the Soviet Union till it fell, and then the deplorable tendencies that we've seen in the 1990s and thereafter as the old KGB comes back to power. I just want to read you a few lines from an article he wrote for the Washington Post in 2005 about torture, something that he experienced firsthand. I know from my own experience that interrogation is an intensely personal confrontation, a duel of wills. It's not about revealing some secrets or making confessions. It's about self-respect and human dignity. If I break, I will not be able to look into a mirror. But if I don't, my interrogator will suffer equally. And he describes how in 1971 he was in Lefortovo prison in Moscow, the central KGB interrogation jail, and he went on hunger strike because he wanted a defense lawyer of his own choice rather than the lawyer the KGB had assigned to him. And this was very inconvenient for the Soviet authorities because the case was due to come to court and they had no time to spare, so they started force-feeding him through his nostrils. He describes it like this. A dozen guards led me from my cell to the medical unit. There they straitjacketed me, tied me to a bed, and sat on my legs so that I wouldn't jerk. The others held my shoulders and my head while a doctor pushed the feeding tube into my nostril. The pipe was thick, thicker than my nostril, and wouldn't go in. Blood came gushing out of my nose and tears down my cheeks, and they kept pushing till the cartilage cracked. I guess I would have screamed if I could, but I could not with the pipe in my throat. I couldn't breathe in or out. I wheezed like a drowning man. My lungs felt ready to burst. Only when the pipe reached my stomach could I resume breathing carefully. Then the doctor poured some slop through a funnel into the pipe. They held me down for another half hour, so the liquid was absorbed by my stomach and couldn't be vomited out. And then they began to pull the pipe out bit by bit. And then they came back the next morning and did it all over again for 10 days, when the guards could stand it no longer. On the 12th day, the authorities surrendered. They'd run out of time. I'd gotten my lawyer, and neither the doctor nor those guards could ever look me in the eyes again. Vladimir Bukovsky.